the thing. But they don't know who's here until it comes time for Kaddish, and they realize we don't have a minyan or baruch. But we still have ruach.
There you go.
Oh, David, I'm sorry I didn't call you the other night. Remember you said, "Hey, give me a call later. You wanted to talk about a couple things," and I didn't get a chance to call you back.
No, we thought.
Okay. Well, we okay. Yeah.
We just talked about the Hanukkah party.
We're live already? Okay, great. Shabbat shalom, everybody. We're out there in Cyber Shul. We have a couple of people making their way into the sanctuary. I'm going to give them some time to get here, and then we'll begin with Kabbalat Shabbat. So, hang tight.
And I was in the office, so I did work a little bit on that flyer, so I think we're good.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah. I haven't seen
And
it, but.
And I wasn't in the office, so I didn't get in anyone's way.
Yeah, that was good, man. That was good strategic planning right here.
So it's starting to get a little cooler now.
I
Outside.
was freezing. I
Yeah.
was so cold tonight. I don't know why, but I
It's-
walked
it's-
into the house.
It's
cold.
funny how the temperature changes. I go out for a walk in the morning, and there's days when you're just wearing, like the hot days, you're wearing like flip-flops and a t-shirt, and you're saying to yourself in the middle of August, there'll be a day where I'm wearing, a t-shirt, sweater, my overcoat, but it's hard to believe then, you know what I mean? And the same thing when you walk today, it's hard to believe, hey, I'll be in flip-flops in 5 months. Here they come. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
All right, Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Shabbat shalom. Okay, we wanted to wait for you guys to get here, so make yourselves comfortable. And Shabbat shalom. We're going to warm ourselves up with singing Shalom Aleichem. That's on page 13. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Asharid, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malchi, Malchi Malachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem LeShalom, Malachi Ashalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malchi, Malchi Malachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruchuni LeShalom, Malachi Ashalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malchi, Malchi Malachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tzidchem LeShalom, Malachi Ashalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malchi, Malchi Malachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now we begin Kabbalat Shabbat on page 15, as we recite in sequence these special psalms selected to usher in the Sabbath. We'll begin on page 15 with the Chun Ranana like this. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, naria, litzoi shenu, nikad mahavana bitoda. Naria, naria, litzoi shenu, Bizmir naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Join me 3 lines from the bottom. Arba'im shana kud bidor, va'omar avto elevavim, ve'im lo yadu dirachai. Asher nishbati v'yabi, yimi v'onel menuchati. Why don't we join together on page 16 with Psalm 96. We'll recite this responsibly in the English and conclude with Yismich L'Shamayim. Sing a new song to Adonai, acclaim Adonai, all people on earth.
Sing to Adonai, proclaim each day God's awesome might. Announce to the world God's glory and wonders.
For Adonai is great, deserving of praise. Adonai alone is to be revered as God.
All the gods of the nations are nothingness. Adonai created the heavens.
Majesty and might accompany God. Splendor and strength adorn God's sanctuary.
Acknowledge Adonai, all families of nations. Claim God's majestic power. Acknowledge God's glory. Bring him tribute.
Worship Adonai in resplendent reverence. Let the earth tremble in God's presence.
Declare to the world Adonai is sovereign. God has steadied the world, which stands firm, and judges
Let the heavens rejoice, let the earth be glad, let the sea and all it contains exult.
The field and forest sing for joy. Adonai comes to rule the earth, to rule the world justly, the nations with faithful.
4 lines from the bottom on page 16. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, V'dagel haaretz. Yiramayam, 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 Umelah, Yiramayam, 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 Umelah. Yaloza daivekol asher ba, azibran lokol atzehar, livnei Adonai kiva lishbat haaretz, yishbat tevel b'tzedek, v'amihim b'emunato. Turn now to page 17, and let us recite the last 2 lines of Psalm 97 in the Hebrew. We sing together, Urzaru ala zadik, Uleishvei leiv simcha, Urzaru ala zadik, Uleishvei leiv simcha, Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai, ve'odu lezecher gadol. Simcha tzadikim b'Adonai, ve'odu lezecher gadol. We turn now to page 98. Let's read responsively Psalm 98 on page 18, and then we'll sing a little bit on the Hebrew side of the page. Sing to Adonai a new song, for God has worked wonders. God's might has been triumphant, revealing supreme power to all.
God remembered his steadfast love, his faithfulness to the house of Israel.
The whole world has seen the triumph of our God. Let all on earth shout for joy and break into jubilant song.
Sing praise to Adonai with the harp, with trumpets and horns, make a joyful noise.
Let the sea roar and all its creatures, the world and its many inhabitants.
Let the rivers applaud in exultation, let the mountains all echo earth's joyous song.
Adonai is coming to rule the earth, to sustain the world with kindness, to judge its people with fairness. Now, the song I like to sing is a melody that I wrote when we had a concert here at Beth Emet. So I liked this song, and I created a melody, and I remember performing it with another musician who played the violin. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines down. Pitzchu v'ranenu v'zameru. It's actually the most narrow line as they sort of set out this psalm. And we just sing it through. However, just kind of a weird thing, the chorus is the line above it. So we actually start with Pitzchu, and as we sing the song, we jump to Hariu, which is the line above it. It goes like this. You've heard it before. Pitzchu v'ranenu, ranenu v'zameru, zamru l'Adonai bechinor. Pitzchu v'ranenu, ranenu v'zameru, zamru l'Adonai bechinor. Bechinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzotzot v'kol shovar, hariu l'Adonai kol haaretz. Bechinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzotzot v'kol shovar, hariu l'Adonai kol haaretz. Pitzchu v'ranenu, ranenu v'zameru, zamru l'Adonai bechinor. Pitzchu v'ranenu, ranenu v'zameru, hariu l'Adonai kol haaretz. Join me at the bottom. Lifnei Adonai kiva lishbat haaretz, yishbat tevel b'tzedek, v'amim b'meisharim. We turn now at the bottom of page 19, and we sing Romamu together. Romebu Adonai Eloheinu ve'itachavu lehar kosho. Romebu Adonai Eloheinu ve'itachavu lehar kosho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romebu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romebu. Romebu Adonai Eloheinu ve'itachavu lehar kosho. Romebu Adonai Eloheinu ve'itachavu And now I invite you to rise if you're comfortable as we sing Mizmor LeDavid, page 20. Mizmor LeDavid, Avul Adonai b'nei Elim, Avul Adonai kavod vos, Avul Adonai kivod shemo, Yisdach Avul Adonai be'adon kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, El hakavod yirim, Adonai hamayim rabim, Kol Adonai ba'hagoach, Kol Adonai be'hadar, Kol Adonai shaver arazim, V'yishaver Adonai et arzei halavanon, V'yargidim k'mo eger levanon, V'sirion k'mo ven re'imim, Kol Adonai chosil havodesh, Kol Adonai yachil midbar, Yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yechalel ayalon, Vayechesof yarod, Uve'echalog ulomer kavod, Adonai lamabu yashav, Vayishev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai os li'amo yidin, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Please be seated. We now sing on page 21 the Chadodi, the crown glory of the Psalms for Kabbalat Shabbat, and we'll do it like this. Lecha lechadodi, likrat likrat gala, pene pene Shabbat negabela. Lecha lechadodi, likrat likrat gala, pene pene Shabbat negabela. Shamur v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmi'anu el ha'meyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shemo tiveret v'liti la 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 l'chadodi, Likrat likrat gala, Pene pene Shabbat negabela. Lecha l'chadodi, Likrat likrat gala, Pene pene Shabbat negabela. Likrat Shabbat lichul v'nelcha, Ki mikora biracha, Verosh begedem enisucha, Sof ma'aseh b'macha Shabbat echila la 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 l'chadodi, Likrat likrat gala, Pene pene Shabbat negabela. Lecha l'chadodi, Likrat likrat gala, Pene pene Shabbat negabela. Last verse. Hitoreri, Kiva orechu miori, Uri shidabiri, Kivod Adonai alaech nigla la la lechadodi, Likrat likrat gala, Pini pini Shabbat negabela. Lecha lechadodi, Likrat likrat gala, Pini pini Shabbat negabela. Page 22, we do it this way. Lo, 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 tevo shiva lo, 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 tigal me matish tochachi, umahatemi bach, bach, echtesu ani, ye, ami benivne ta'ir, atila, lechadodi likrat gala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela, v'haylim shisa shosayich v'racha kulko v'valayich yasis alayich elayich kimsos chatan al kahala l'chadodi likrat gala b'nei Shabbat nikabela yamin usmo tifrod zivi et Adonai karitzi hayahad ishben barzi v'nismecha v'nagilah L'chadodi likrat gala, B'nei Shabbat nikabela. I invite you to rise. We face the rear of the sanctuary as we welcome the Shabbat Queen. Ba'i v'shalom mater et bala, God b'simcha u'v'tzala, Atochemuni yom sigula, boi chala, boi chala chala lechadodi, lichad nigrad gala, pene pene, shabbat nikabila, lechadodi, lichad nigrad gala, pene pene, shabbat nikabila. Yofi, please be seated. We turn now to page 23. What I thought I'd do this evening, we sing this in a couple different ways. One of the ways we sing it is with a melody that I wrote and Rabbi Berman and I used to sing in a little bit of a round, more of a sort of a change of rhythm. And you know it as Mizmor Shirli Yehoma Shabbat Tov Lehodot. What I'd like to do with you, since you're leaders of this congregation, is teach you the counter rhythm, okay? Because I can't do both at the same time. So anyway, this is the way, as you know it, we sing it like this. Mizmor Shirli Yehoma Shabbat Tov Lehodot Lehodot Ladonai Ulizamer L'Shimcha Elyon Ulizamer L'Shimcha Elyon. You know that, okay? But the counter rhythm goes like this. Mizmor Shirli Yehoma Shabbat Tov Le... Wait. Okay, now it starts this. Mizmor Shirli Yom HaShabbat, Mizmor Shirli Yom HaShabbat Tov Lehodot Ladonai Ulizamer Elyon. You don't even sing the Shimcha. That's the whole idea. So it starts like this. I sing, or you would start, Mizmor Shirli Yom HaShabbat, Mizmor Shirli Yom HaShabbat. Let's try that. 1, 2. Mizmor Shirli Yom HaShabbat Tov Lehodot Ladonai Ulizamer Elyon. See how that works? It's pretty straightforward. You just got to get the timing right. Again, I sing Mizmor Shirli Yom HaShabbat, Mizmor Shirli Yom HaShabbat Tov Lehodot Ladonai Ulizamer Elyon. So then I'm singing Mizmor Shirli Yom HaShabbat, Mizmor. See how it's going to kind of bounce back like this? If it works. Otherwise, it's what we call music. In music, it's a very specific term. If it doesn't work, we call it a mess. Okay, that's the you know. Well, choir directors won't tell you that, but that's what it's called. Okay. Anyway, let's try. Why don't you all begin the beginning? That's what you're familiar with, and I'll chime in with the rhythm. Just focus on what you're doing. Okay. I'll sing once with you, and then I'll break off. So Chad, Shtayim, Shalos. Mizmor Shirli Yom HaShabbat Tov Lehodot Lehodot Ladonai Ulizamer L'Shimcha Elyon Ulizamer L'Shimcha Elyon. Again, Mizmor Shirli Yom HaShabbat Tov Lehodot Ladonai Ulizamer. Pretty good. We'll get it.
I always wondered how you guys do that.
Yeah. Well, at least now we have it for posterity on our live stream. So there you can always practice at home, okay? Very good. Why don't we just jump down to the bottom of the page. This is a wonderful psalm for Shabbat, and we'll sing together what we do know. Tzadik Adam Yivrach Ki Erez Balevanon Yizgah Shetulim Biveit Adonai Bechazrot Eloheinu Yavrichu Od Yenudon Beseiva Disheinim Verananim Yehu Lehagid Ki Ashar Adonai Tzuri Velo Avlada Now we turn to page 24 and we recite together in the Hebrew, as was the custom on Erev Shabbat in this congregation, Psalm 93. Adonai malach geyut lavesh Adonai os hitazar, afti kol tevel mal timod, nachon kisacha meyaz, meolam ata, nasun harod Adonai, nasun harod kolam, yesun harod dochyam, mi kolot maim rabim, adiri mishpereyam, adir bamarom Adonai, edotechan emnu maod, levetechan na'ava kodesh, Adonai le'orech yamin. And now we'll continue our service on page 28, and let us read responsively. Actually, let's read responsively on the left side of the page underneath the line. The Arvit blessing. Light and darkness, night and day, we marvel at the mystery of stars.
Moon and sky, sand and sea, we marvel at the mystery of the sun.
Twilight, high noon, dusk and dawn, though we are mortal, we are creation's crown.
Flesh and bone, steel and stone, we dwell in fragile, temporary shelters.
Grant steadfast love, compassion, grace, sustain us, O God, our origin is dust.
Majesty, mercy, love endure, we are but little lower than the angels.
Resplendent skies, sunset, sunrise, the grandeur of creation lifts our lives.
Evening darkness, morning dawn, renew our lives as we renew all time.
Adonai tzvot shema Elochai v'kayam tamid imloch aleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch Adonai Hamari v'ravim. We continue with Ahavat Olam, page 29. Ahavat Olam bid Yisrael amcha avda Torah hal mitzvot chugim u'mishpatim odan limadida Aten Adonai Eloheinu b'shachvenu v'komenu Naseach v'chugecha Ahavat Olam v'nismach b'divrei Torah u'v'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Kihem chayenu v'orech yameinu Uvahem nege yomam v'layla Yahavat olam bid Yisrael amcha avda Torah hal mitzvot chugim u'mishpatim odan limadida Again Adonai Eloheinu b'shachvenu v'komenu Naseach v'chugecha Ahavat olam v'ahavadecha Adazir v'imenu mimenu v'aholamim Baruch Adonai Yisrael, Yisrael, Ahavat olam bid Yisrael amcha avda Torah hal mitzvot chugim u'mishpatim odan limadida Again Adonai Eloheinu b'shachvenu v'komenu Naseach v'chugecha Ahavat olam. I invite you now to turn to page 28. We go back and we'll recite the Baruch Hu. Please rise. Baruch Hu et Adonai Avivarach. Baruch Adonai Avivarach le'olam va'ed. May be seated. We turn now to page 30 for the recitation of the Shema. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad V'yahavtahid Adonai Elohecha V'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha v'chol me'odecha V'hayu adivarim ha'ile asher anochi metzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinad am levanecha v'dimahar tabam v'zivlecha v'beitecha v'lechlecha ha'vaderech v'shachvecha v'kumecha v'shadam lehodayadecha v'yilidodavot hininecha v'chedavedam Continue silently through the top of page 31. Let's turn to page 32 and let's read this responsibly line by line in the English. We affirm the truth that Adonai alone is our God and that we are God's people Israel.
God redeems us from the power of kings and delivers us from the hand of all tyrants, bringing judgment upon our oppressors and retribution on our mortal enemies, performing wonders beyond understanding and marvels beyond all reckoning.
God has maintained us among the living, not allowing our steps to falter, guided us to triumph over mighty foes, and exalted our strength over all our enemies, vindicating us with miracles before Pharaoh, signs and wonders in the land of Egypt.
God smote with wrath Egypt's firstborn, brought Israel's lasting freedom, and led them through divided waters, their pursuers straying into the sea.
When God's children beheld the divine might, they sang in praise, gladly accepting God's sovereignty.
Moses and the people Israel joyfully sang this song to you.
Let's join together. Micha mocha ba'ilim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora dilat ozei veleh. Micha mocha ba'ilim Adonai, Micha mocha nedar b'kodesh, Nora dilat ozei veleh. Machudecha ra'ul v'necha b'hageyayam livnei Moshe ze'eli anu ve'ahamiru Adonai imach le'olam va'ed V'nemar kivad Adonai Yaakov v'galam el chazak mimenu Baruch Adonai God Israel. We turn now to page 33. Let's read in English at the top of the page, the Hashkivenu in English, together. Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace, and wake us again, our sovereign, to life. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from every enemy's pestilence and from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, O God, who watches over us and delivers us, our gracious and merciful ruler. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who spreads the shelter of peace over us, over all his people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Ufras aleinu sugat, sugat, shilomecha, utheros aleinu sugat, sugat, shilomecha, Baruch Adonai. Haporis Sukkot Shalom Aleinu v'Kol Amo Yisrael v'Yerushalayim. I invite you to rise. We turn to page 34 for Vishamru and the Chatzi Kaddish, after which we'll recite the silent Amidah, beginning on page 35A or B, through its conclusion on page 38. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat La'azad et ha-Shabbat V'doro damri dalah Be'yeni u'vei b'nei Yisrael oti Le'olam gishesh et yamim Asa Adonai et ha-Shamayim v'et ha'aretz U'vayom ha'shvi Shabbat vayinafat. Yidgadav, Yidgadav, Shemei Rabbah. Bi'alamad Yivrach, Yivra'ut, Hevi Amelech, Machutei. v'chayechad u'vyom echad v'chayidecha b'id Yisrael bagala bagala u'vizmahar gari v'imrel Yesh me'raba mivorach li'olam alo me'almaya Yidbarach Yidbarach v'yishdabach v'yidbar v'yidrama v'yidnaseh v'yidhadar v'yidhaleh v'yidhalal shemei kudeshah v'yihila min kol birlachada v'sheirada tushbechata v'nechemata damihirat bi'alema v'imrel Amen. Sag Damida. I'm glad you're comfortable, but we ask you to rise now on page 47. We'll sing Vayachulu, and then we'll have you take a seat. Vayachulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol zivav Vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi melachto asher asa Vayishbot bayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa Vayvarech Elohim et yom hashvi Vayigad Ezora Kivo Shabbat Biko Belachta Kivo Shabbat Biko Belachta Asher Bara Asher Bara Asher Bara Elohim Lasso. You may be seated. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VeHaNorah Elyon Gonei Shamayim Va'aretz Magen Avon B'Devaro Mechayim Edim B'Ma'amaro Magen Avon B'Devaro Mechayim Edim B'Ma'amaro El HaGadol Shein Gamahu Shein Gamahu Amaniach le'amal b'yom Shabbat kodsho, b'yom Shabbat kodsho, Shabbat kodsho, Magin Avot Bidiva Mechayim Edim B'ma'amaro Magin Avot Bidivaro Mechayim Edim B'ma'amaro Kivam Liradza Kivam Radzalani Achlahem Lefanav Na'avod Lefanav Na'avod B'giravavachad V'noder Elishemo V'noder Elishmo B'chayam Damid V'noder Elishmo B'chayam Damid Megin Habirachot V'noder B'chayam Damid Megin Habirachot Magin Avod B'divaro Mechayim Edim B'ma'amaro Magin Avod B'divaro Mechayim Edim B'ma'amaro Elodon Adonai Shalom Mikari Shashabat U'mivarech Shvi U'meiniyacha B'kedusha Aleyom Medushenei Yonei Zecher Lema'aseh Vereshi Magin Avot B'divaro Mechayim Edim B'ma'amaro Magin Avot B'divaro Mechayim Edim B'ma'amaro. Let's join together on the top of page 48 in the English. Our God and God of our ancestors, find favor in our Shabbat rest. Instill in us the holiness of your mitzvot, and let your Torah be our portion. Fill our lives with your goodness, and gladden us with your triumph. Cleanse our hearts so that we might serve you faithfully, lovingly and willingly, Adonai our God. Grant that we inherit your holy Shabbat, so that the people Israel who hallow your name will always find rest on this day. Praise to you, Adonai, who hallows. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Kaddish Shalem, page 48. Yigrav Yigrav Shemei Rabbah. Rabbah Divrach Yigrav Mechach V'Mechachod V'Mechod 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 Yisrael. Bagalav Yizman Karev V'Yimrel. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mivorach. Li'olam Alam E'amaya. Yidbarach. Yidbarach Yistabach. Yidbarach Yidom Yinasim. Yidbarach Yidalevet Al Shemei Yidgudashah. Elam Yigabechad Avishivada. Shvichad Avnechmada. Damram Amav V'Yimrel. Yidgabel Sodom Vodom Nechah Yisrael. God Abon Vishmaya V'Yimrel. Amen. Yisrael Lovim Shemai V'Chaim Alin V'Achal Yisrael V'Yimrel. Amen. Oseh Shalom B'Ramav. Uyazeh Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Gal Yisrael. Ve'Yimrel. Amen. Yazeh Shalom. Yazeh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Gal Yisrael. Yazeh Shalom, Yazeh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, V'yal Gal Yisrael, V'Yimrel. Amen. And now it gives me great pleasure to bring to you Kiddush on page 49. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedushat b'mitzvot avaraz avanu, shabbat kodesh be'avaraz onin chilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reishi, ki'ul yom nechila, l'mikrai kodesh, zecher l'tziyat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'charda, v'dana hidashta, mikol amim, v'shabbat kodecha, v'yava u'v'ratzon, hinchaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, B'Kadesh HaShabbat. Okay, now that we're in the mood, let's turn to page 51 for Alina. That wasn't a mess, in case you were wondering. At this point in our service, we recite the Mourner's Kaddish for those observing a yurt site or a period of mourning. If anyone here is reciting Kaddish this weekend, I invite you to rise. Anybody? Okay, I'll recite it then. It's a general custom for the community. And tomorrow morning, we'll recite the names of those who are who in this community for whom we are observing yurt site. But I'll do this, and please respond on me. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei rabba. V'yalmad yivrach l'rutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechod v'yomechod v'chayid v'chol beit Yisrael v'agalah v'yizman kariv v'yimru. Yehei shemei rabba mevarach le'olam u'l'me'ol maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha. Le'ila min kol birchata v'shirata tishbechata v'nechamata da'ami rad v'yalma v'yimru. Amen. Yesh Lamarabba min Shemaya v'chayim alim v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. Oseh shalom bin Romav v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen. All right, thank you very much. Before we conclude, it's nice to see all of you, and thank you all of you for being here. None of us could have made the minyan without you. That's the fact. And we want to thank everybody tuning in Cyber Shul. We hope you enjoyed the service. Shabbat Shalom. I'm just going to make some announcements, if you don't mind, Lou, very briefly. The only thing I wanted to remind you of, because tomorrow we'll get a full recitation of announcements, is that if you're interested at all, this Sunday, which is November, well, I guess the 20th, at 4 p.m. at Temple Beth Tikva, the Orange County Jewish Collaborative has organized a sort of a community-wide Thanksgiving service. So it begins at 4 o'clock. It's free. Just show up. You might want to get there a little early to get parking. But it runs from 4 to 5:30, and it's the Temple Beth Tikva will participate. There'll be Anaheim United Methodist Church will participate. Some other congregations will participate. So if it's something that you're interested in doing, as the season of Thanksgiving is upon us, 4 p.m. Temple Beth Tikva. And of course, that's all I want to say this evening. We'll see you tomorrow at 9:30 for a regular Shabbat minyan. And I'll leave it to Lou to inform us of all the other goodies coming up.
Join us tomorrow late in the morning for announcements.
Announcements, that's right. So, it's going to be exciting stuff. You want to tune in. Okay. And we conclude now with Yigdal on page 53. Yigdal Elohim Chai v'yishdaba nimtza v'yehined el mitziuto echad v'yinyachid geyichudo nelam v'gam mitzav leyach Elo demudagu v'yeinagu v'lo na'aroch elam kedushato kadmol lechadavar asher nivra rishon v'yin reishi l'reish Hino adon olam lechon ha'otzar yoreg edulato u'machudo sheva nevuato netano elan shezegulato v'tiv Lo God be Yisrael, Gimoshe Navi, Umavi, Etzemunato, Torah de Benatan, Leyamoel, Ayanivion Eman, Lo Yachalifael, Velo Yamirdato, Leolamim Lezulato, Sovevion Sudareinu, Mabilis of Navar Bekat. Gomel ish chesed gemi v'halo no teler ashara girishato ishlach leketz yamid meshicheinu livdon mechagigez Yeshu Meitim Yechayel verov chazdo baruch adei ahad shem tehilato Meitim Yechayel verov chazdo baruch adei ahad Shem Tehilado. Shabbat Shalom. Let's all join together for some refreshments next door. Shabbat Shalom.